All right, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Whole bunch of stuff came down the pipeline, you guys. I'm gonna read the first one if it'll let me, because I just put it up here. Hang on one second. All right, private equity firms like Blackstone. Heavenly Father God, I pray. I want to put a hedge of protection on all that is good, eh? Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, and all that is good globally, FBI agents, and everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you've done for us and implementing all these affidavits and stuff. All right, I want to finish up the last affidavit on part 2. I uploaded it. We had some technical things, so anyways, we're working through it. Private equity firms like Blackstone are destroying the planet for profit. Private equity companies have Warren Buffett envy. Apparently, they're quite jealous of Berkshire Hathaway Investments autonomy and have decided to do something about it. Blackstone and Apollo have recently amassed more than 250 billion in permanent capital, tweaking their business model to lean more heavily on permanent investment vehicles that will provide these companies even more freedom to invest in lucrative sectors. All right, like dirty energy, where am I going with this? You guys remember we were talking about fire sales, and I was telling you our elders had shared with us when you guys see certain stuff going down, like the California fires and different things with the riots and the strategic things that are going on, they're fire sales. Do you guys remember that CW came out and had reported she was talking to her military intel who had reported all the cities that were in the states that they had slated for all these attacks, eh? All right. Now, in that report, she's also talking about that what happened was they had sold off the lands to China for this railway that they were planning to implement, eh? And hence those certain Ohio and these specific areas that they were destroying, they need to destroy it, burn it down, do what they need to do to clear the lands for the new infrastructure that they're going to put there. A couple things I have to make an affidavit here. Attention Office of Interpol, the Fraud Department, the International Criminal World Court, Jay Clayton doing business as Securities and Exchange Commissioner head, Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, also the United States Federal Trade Commission, Clearinghouse, United States Federal Trade Commission, Antitrust Department, and the Clearinghouse section, and the Fraud Department heads, the Federal Bureau Investigations heads, Louis DeJoy doing business as Postmaster General head, also the heads for the Universal Postal Union and all that is good globally. I come to you, the Army, the Navy, the military, and the Marines. I come to you in good faith. I stand my ground here and for the record, and once proper person as a living flesh and blood, sentient being, Suri Juri, Suri heirs, heir to the world's vastest state. All right, as Moabite, Hittite, Canaanite, Queen, Reubenite tribe chief, American Indian, allodial title Moorish American national, Rubus red rose, angel in Latin, the sun, the moon, the stars, and all that is on the earth, the wind, the fire, and all that is in this planet. All right. I command and order you now to speak with the heads for all these Jewish communities in so-called New York City and around the globe. The attacks that they're experiencing, you guys who are Moors and heirs, go and claim your nationality. Go to rvbaypublications.com. Claim your correct nationality and status. You can come to us. If you know your American Indians, we'll share with you guys the SS4, the SS5, and the SF181, and a whole host of stuff. You can email us for the Do Not Detain Affidavit, the IRS status correction, the GSA bonds to set off matters such as child support cases, mortgages, foreclosures, ticket citations, utilities, auto loans, student loans, and also for those of you in the so-called churches doing business as jails. Yes, you guys, it's a church. You can email us for non-violent offenses. Also, those of you having to see an agent doing business as parole officer, and those of you with warrants for non-violent offenses, you guys can email us with the GSA bond templates to set off the matters, and then the 1099 OID to get back the finances they claimed you owed for the so-called charges. They tell us it's $2 million per charge. We didn't get back that much. You can try that stuff and see if it works for you. However, we did get back something significant from the Treasury today. To this date, we're still grateful. So you can email us. We do have to ask for donations for our time and our research and our this channel. All right. Jewish communities. All right, here's what you have to do now. I cannot even believe I'm out here telling you guys this, but I know you guys turned against us. We Moors tried to help y'all, brought y'all over here, gave you our status as the original Jews to make you Jewish. All you have to do now is come clean, tell the history of what's going on, and claim your true nationality. Whatever you really are, claim that. If you have a nationality, claim your correct status, your proper status, because what they're doing is what the angel gods are telling us here. They were going after the blacks, you guys. The blacks are the heirs, the Moors, the American Indians, the original indigenous people, right? They were put under the 14th Amendment, civil term Moors, which is the same with the Jewish community, same with the so-called Indians, which is the capital Indians, the corporation Indians, under worship status, the capital INDIANS, claiming to be us, heirs, right? They're also under worship status. So what's happened is they've put all the people, all the entities globally under these incorrect labels and titles and statuses. Right, God? Okay, under the 14th Amendment, right? Which is civil mor tuus, dead in the eyes of the law. So they've stolen your identity now, right? Claim that you are something, and then you're claiming that you're something that you're not, right? And then what they're doing now are these fire sales and that. These fire sales come in different forms, whether it's rioting, targeting you, ticketing you, whatever. So what these guys are reporting, thank you, Charlie Ward, CW, Mel, and this other guy, they're reporting that they're targeting the Jewish community, and they've given out $150,000 in fines in the past 3 weeks in those communities. So Oprah had done a video, guys, if you guys remember, where she'd gone into this deep area in Brooklyn. Brooklyn had the, I want to say the Orthodox Jews. There's another name for them, but they're the ones that didn't mix at all. Now, you guys have to go claim your correct status, right? Some of you are writing to me that you're claiming to be Aboriginal Native or something. Can you please show me the nationality for that? All I'm asking for years upon years to some of you is just show us the nationality for whatever it is you're trying to claim, because you're having problems in other areas, and we keep telling you we can write for you letters and affidavits for that one instant. However, what we're trying to show you and trying to teach you here is we teach people how to fish. We can give you a fish which lasts for a day. But if we teach you how to fish, it'll last for a lifetime, eh? If you claim your correct status and your correct nationality, then they'll know who you are, and then you can go after them in your proper person. Line up with the ethers, the moon, the stars, the sun, and all that is good globally, right? And then things will start to manifest for you like they do here for us all day, every day. Thank you to the FBI agents yesterday and the day before who we had reported here. We had an issue with this Pegasus Traders. Never, 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 never. If you guys are traveling here, never step foot in a company called Pegasus Traders in Kingston, especially the one at 11 Bell Road. The worst set of people ever in terms of customer service. We had bought this particular apparatus over there, had some issues with it, called them to get, we had actually purchased one of the parts outright when we discovered it wasn't working right. Then we still just realized it still wasn't working. Called them back. They tried to use scare tactics and that. Scare tactics, you guys, when people try to do fear mongering, they're yelling at you, cursing you out, calling you all kinds of crap, accusing you of stuff that you have nothing to do with that. All you're trying to do is get whatever it is that you're trying to get remedied, right? Scare tactics, right? Fear mongering. The same with the mask, the same stuff. So they're cursing us out because we didn't wear a mask. That's what the bottom line was. She's mad. Patricia's mad because we didn't wear a mask, because we're trying to save her goddamn life, which we shouldn't have just, I don't even know what we should have done, but the bottom line was I'm not participating in this hoax, right? So, long story short, you guys, if you're here traveling in this territory known as Jamaica and you see a company called Pegasus Traders, go turn right, turn left, do what you need to do. Avoid them like the plague, man. I already told him yesterday. I said, you know what? Here's how we got the situation remedied. It was the grace of God, writing to the FBI agents, writing to Interpol, writing to Donald Trump. They sent their angel gods and their spirit to us. We have a driver. You guys traveling here or traveling globally to the Caribbean, it's good to have a driver, somebody connected locally if you can. And there's some very spiritual people involved in this planet, right, as you guys know. So he was trying his best to remedy the situation for us. Long story short, he was doing a trip, saw a guy on one of the things that we were using or trying to get remedied. He talked to one of the people in the actual taxi who happened to know the guy, who knew everything about him, where he lived, the kind of work he did, his name, the whole 9 yards. The taxi driver hooked up with the guy, got the information. The guy came to the domicile, looked at the apparatus. They took it into town to several different locations. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with it until a whole bunch of men surrounded this thing, and it was a Rastafaro. Thank you to him, who looked at it and said it just needed a thick piece of cardboard to go between the electrical elements for it to work properly. And that's how they were able to get it back to the domicile in perfect working order, because there was one thing that it needed to push up this thing to the electrical components for it to work. I say this to say that, you guys, there is a God. All right? Now, in lieu of finishing up the affidavit, international authorities see to it that Dr. Mikovits Weaver is compensated, and all the people, they don't even want me to say their names, it looks like Miss Vilma, Patricia, James, Peter, and all the people over the years that's come to us for help that we have managed to get out of jails and all kinds of stuff, you guys. I didn't even know how we do it here. I'm woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to write for somebody, send it off. Peter, we already sent your stuff off to the international authorities. International authorities see to it now, and all the judges are freed this night. Go and round up those heads, because you know that we reported that all the courts are also owned by the same deep state Chinese Communist Party. So what they were doing was, Jewish community, you have to go and claim your proper nationality. That's what's going on. And then the fire sales now, Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military have to squash all those contracts, because they're all fraud anyways and treason, because you can't sell the indigenous lands. Our lands cannot be sold, bought, or traded, ever. And that's what's going on. This Admiral Maritime Law that we're in, going back to the common law, common sense laws, that's all that's going on. So all those contracts are now void ab initio. In fact, I heard Rudy Giuliani, the mayor, ex-mayor for New York City, he was talking about the titles to property. As you guys know, there are no titles to properties. We heirs have to create our own. Moors, you have to create your own titles. Here's how you do it. You do the trust. Go to the Moorish American Consulate.com website. You'll see everybody's trust posted there, right? Download one. Do yours. Put your longitude and latitude for your domicile in it. We also did the quitclaim deed. Our quitclaim deed started out with just 5 or 10 agents I thought we were going to sue. We ended up suing everybody. It was like 300 by the time we were done, which notice to agent is notice to principal, notice to principal is notice to agent, and to all heirs and assigns. So when we did that now, we were traveling here at that time, and then we ended up leaning up Andrew Holness and all the heads here for infrastructure and targeting the taxi drivers, ticketing them through these Minister of Transportation and all these different corrupt corporations that are basically stealing the people's wealth here, right? So we saw that there was lack of infrastructure. So they set up these roads and these bus parks, and they're poorly constructed, and then put these agents doing business, police officers in front of them to ticket the people daily, right? And so, and so de Blasio has to be rounded up, and so does Cuomo. We know that they've already been arrested and stuff, but you need to execute them and then remove all that stuff. And then the people in New York have to rise up and take a stand for themselves. Now, Mel's reporting that's like a ghost town over there. So international authorities go and make sure that is taken care of and remedied properly. All right, thank you in advance for your speedy response to this matter. By Noble, Honorable Ange, El Inadi Alfred, El Rubenite Tribe Chief, American Indian, Alodio Tuttle Moorish, American National, UCC 1-308, without recourse, all rights reserved. And yes, people are reporting to us, they've reported to us they got out of jails using the GSA bonds. They got their mortgages set off. They got their autos returned. They got their auto loans set off. And so, yes, we know that it works, and how we received it in the first place was people that used it successfully. Dolo kona he takarana takarana. I stand by the Book of Ruth, by my deceased organ harvest husband, and myself, Jackson. All right. Toko no ho takanana taki nehe takanana taka no no ko o. So all you entities globally, go now quickly, claim your correct nationality and your status so you're protected from this season of treason, right? All right, Debbie Cooper says Paleo Indians, Caucasians, Hebrew Israelites, 10 lost tribes and tribes who fought with the Sitting Bull are Israel. And we know it, and Sitting Bull signature with 10 lost tribes is our in our mission. Thank you for that, Paleo Copper, Debbie Cooper. All right, promised land belongs to ancient covenant people. I don't know about this. You see, the American Indians, yeah. And let's see what else she wrote here that makes sense. Okay. And yep, and God's going to pluck ones not supposed to be here. He said he will pluck the tares off our land, Northern Kingdom. And yeah, I'm not sure about that one either. And then you guys can look at the comment section here. I'm just reading the ones that I overstand. If it doesn't make sense, I can't read it, you guys. So yeah, you guys can email us for those at themullings@gmail.com. And you can go to PayPal. We ask for $1 for each of these videos, you guys. If you guys want to send us more, we greatly appreciate it, as it helps us here, right? Yeah, continue our research. So these are some of the things that they sent to us recently. Black, Hebrew, Ishmaelite, Jew. All right. These were some, I want to say, European Moors, American Indians. Homeland Security, this is what they look like. Originally, we made a video about this. Fighting terrorism since 1492. That was our people, the original American Indians. See them? All right, people dogged us for when we put that up. It's the truth, people. But they were saying that it was something about 1492. So it probably happened before then, right? Something about the state is wrong, supposedly. So they were pissed off about that. Now, in AD 1688, New Rochelle, the city of the Huguenots. Now, the Huguenots, this was about Epstein's girlfriend. What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. Her people came from this particular set of entities, Huguenots. Because I was talking about this, I had researched that. Go on Wikipedia and type in her mother, and I think her father, you'll see this come up, because they're the Huguenots. And then you could research the Huguenots and what they're about, right? And then this is what a natural carrot looks like. R.A. Osiris. The orange carrot is a hybrid. The hybrid is to make us sterile, or yeah, we're not supposed to eat it. This is what we're supposed to get. Drop the Seeds International Authority so we can get these things right to eat, because they're in the seed bank. They have these seed banks, you guys, all over the globe for wars, and we're in a war. Obviously, we haven't stopped this war. And yeah, more by Stefano. You see, I don't know if that's correct, but yeah. Some ancient pictures I sent us. Telephone transmitter, railway system, subway system, roller coaster. Inventor of this was Dr. Granville T. Woods, April 25th, 1856, January 30th, 1910 he passed. One of America's greatest electrical engineers. Granville T. Woods was not allowed to finish elementary school. Woods patented over 100 electrical and mechanical inventions. He had many patents purchased by General Electric, Westinghouse, Bell, and Thomas Edison. He successfully sued Thomas Edison in court for stealing his patents on 2 occasions. Interesting. STEM Roll Model Series. All right, you guys can go and research that one. This is a so-called blackamoor in the 19th century Italian art, because we Moors are over in Italy as well too. This was, one of those astrodomes. They're all over the place. I was trying to figure out if it was like it was private people controlling the weather. We've had some really strange weather here. International authorities, as you heard yesterday, the local people are reporting that the waters here, Black River, I want to say Portmore, and I want to say St. Thomas, and the different areas where they're experiencing landslides and stuff like that. 2 things. First of all, the spiritual local people are saying that the sea needs blood. And if it doesn't get blood, which is usually they give it a cow, a cow. If it doesn't get a cow, it'll start to take the people. So sure enough, yesterday, the day before, it took out, well, how many people? I want to say, I think it was 3 or 4 along the Black St. Elizabeth area. And then going up towards Belmont. And then you have the landslides happening in St. Thomas and Portmore. And now you have the people talking about what? Infrastructure. The people here are now mad because they've been subject to taxation and with no infrastructure. Taxation with no representation, with agents stealing their wealth. I don't want to call it common. Their wealth as a people, and not providing anything to back up. And then what we were talking about yesterday and what we've been reporting here is the fact that China was taking out the red dirt. When another entity outside of this territory, any territory, steals the foundation of the land, right? The red dirt, the bauxite, whatever you're stealing, man. I'm not saying you can't build houses and you can't do certain things. What I'm saying is that when it becomes excessive, the structure of the place begins to fall. Common sense, people. So what we're saying is to stop China from taking out all the red dirt because the red dirt is really our ancestors, people. Don't even ask me to explain that. I'm just telling you what the angels tell us here, right? When we die, it's called fossil fuels. It's us, right? Donald Trump is trying to uplift Pennsylvania and all these different territories and get them to get their energies back up and running. It's the fossil fuels, which is us, indigenous people, right? So I'm just saying, just be mindful of that and make sure it goes back or stays in the earth to such an extent that it doesn't, you understand what I'm saying? That the earth doesn't get dislodged or whatever, right? All right. So did you know the largest ever discovery of water is a massive reservoir? Is this true? That's floating around a black hole 10 billion light years away. The water is 140 trillion times the mass of Earth's oceans and is older than the formation of most of the stars in the Milky Way galaxy, right? And yes, I'd reported that, what's her name? Oh boy, we have a new Supreme Court Justice, Anne Coney Barrett. Is that her name? Yeah. So I made a video about that. We couldn't upload it as well when they got the information. And all these naysayers, Booker and them, going round them up for treason, man, because they already got paid. People of color in Europe. These were the 5 native tribes. These are native. These might be European Indians, because if you look closely, look at them, you guys. So these ones could have sold out the original indigenous people, right? This I just thought was a very pretty picture of a queen. I don't know, maybe it represents something, so you guys can tell me who she is, the goddess of what? Crystals? I don't know. And then the Da Vinci Code, Jehovah's Witnesses, Adventists, and Freemasons. This is Watchtower. What does it say? Watchtower Bible. So I'm not sure what this is. You guys can tell us a little bit more about this structure here. People, these are Europeans in American Indians in Europe, Moors in Europe, and Moors, saints, knights, and kings. Yeah, Moors again in Europe, and then Copper tribe. I think of Copper Aborigines, Indian, Indigenous American, American Indians again. See that? Where's that statue? Tell us where that is located, you guys. And then this one is the Black Buddha, as all the religions came from us originally, and the Israelite Buddhists, right? And again, American Indians, Moors in Europe. And then this says here, okay. All right, so I think that's basically it, you guys. Yeah, this talking. You guys can also get the manufacturer's certificate of origin from us. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember to give these videos a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the new channel, Noble L II. I think we're going to be uploading from here on in. Even when the Noble L, the original channel, comes back up, we'll probably just make a link to go over to this channel and stuff until we see stuff change. So go and round up the heads for the Blackstone investment firm for treason and genocide, because they have contracts that they've taken out with China and other entities in that goes against the grain of the Iroquois Confederation and the Constitution, right? So go and do that. And then now they're reporting here from now through Halloween and November 30th. All right, presidential election. The deep state was expected to cause extensive chaos by disrupting food and delivery system funds. You guys know you can do foraging. Those of you who have access to trees and stuff in your area, just research all the trees around the planet. Most of them, a lot of them, not all of them. Go and research. Some of the stuff is poisonous. You must go and research. Some of the leaves and the herbs, a lot of them you could eat. That prior to all the stuff being imported in that's what we were eating. Nuts and seeds and some of the leaves from the trees, right? What else? I was going to say something else. Somebody else reported to us that Biden took 158 billion. It was 158 billion that he gave to Iran for the 5 SEALs that they killed, men, who had discovered the secret. Iran had known about the fact that Osama bin Laden wasn't taken out and was being hidden. And when they reported how he was killed or how he was, supposedly buried, he was buried wrong because his head was supposed to be facing Mecca or something to that effect. And then it's being reported now that he's also received other millions and millions from other corporations. So Biden's corrupt. He's already been taken out, arrested, and executed in that. So you're looking at a clone people. And when I watched the debate, I didn't watch the debate. I was looking at the 60 Minutes interview with Donald Trump and the 60 Minutes interview with Biden. International authorities go and round up all the agents for 60 Minutes for treason and genocide and racketeering, right? When they showed Biden, they had a set of questions that was what Donald Trump called softball. I had to go and watch it myself to figure out what he was talking about. All they were asking Donald Trump was about masks and this pandemic. Biden, not one question about that. I only watched a few moments of it, but nothing in lieu of, it was, and he was, I couldn't even, you guys, just go and round them up for me, please. I can't even, there's no words to describe the corruption when you see how they set it up. When they had Donald Trump under these lights and crappery, right? You know, when you're just setting up to do an interview. No, Biden is in this blue room, everything is perfect lighting, and he looks like, they're trying to make him look like some kind of whatever, right? Donald Trump, they make him look like, I don't even know. So you guys can watch those two, because I'm not putting any words to those two things. I was just, it was not good. Gene Decode said in a recent Charlie Ward video, before the end of October 2020, all of them, Biden, Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, would be brought up and charges of treason for murder of the SEAL Team 6. Yeah, they've already been arrested and executed. We already put that video out there from the government where you guys can see that, right? All right, you guys. 3 hard drives are now unveiled. Were unveiled by Lewd Media from what President Trump called a laptop from hell. Emails from Hunter Biden's hard drive showed. And 60 Minutes was lying about the Hunter Biden stuff. And the Biden stuff, I mean, they flat out lied. I couldn't believe it. When Donald Trump cornered them, she just lied and said, oh, it's not true and all this crap. I said, really? How former Vice President Joe Biden and former Secretary of State John Kerry traded for power, money, and sex with the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. In 2013, the Chinese Communist Party colluded with Biden and Kerry families through the Ukrainian energy company. Leaked documents showed tens of millions of Ukrainian dollars paid to the Kerry Biden Jr. Fund, with cash transferred to several funds run by leading Democrats, all intel of which was being withheld from the American people by the mass media, which was highly suspected to be involved in the scheme. So yeah, Jewish community, come clean. Just tell them how you got your identities and explain to them the history of what's gone on. We've already tried to do it for you here. Some of the information has been interfered with from our queen, Valeria Bay, who had explained to us all the history and stuff as to what went on. Not my words, people. I'm just telling you what the angels and the gods and the queens and the kings explained to us and our elders here, so we know what was going on and how to protect ourselves globally, right? All right. Like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. The phone's ringing. Yes, like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. And yeah. And, yeah. Go and do the research. Don't take my word for it.